Hello and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, bringing you the very first restreamed A Link Between Worlds randomizer race. It's going to be Lemon versus Flora. On commentary we have Herdman, Photon and Tokapa. Say hello, guys.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
And show is yours.
I guess we can start with actual introductions. Tokapa first, maybe? I don't know.
I made this smile.
Nice.
I'm Photon. I used to speedrun this game. I've unfortunately not gotten the chance to play this randomizer a ton, but I'm here more so for commentary on any tricks and routing and stuff like that.
And I'm the correct pronunciation is Erreteman, but you can just pronounce my name as you want. I mod this game on the Discord and in the speedrun leaderboards. And if you have streamed this at least once, I've probably been there because I'm really obsessed with actually promoting this rando, and it's why I actually wanted to have this showcase race.
Yep. And as always, I'm extremely thankful for you and all the rest of the testers. But especially you, because you found basically all the bugs. So
yeah, I started testing like a month earlier than pretty much everybody else. Mm-hmm. So I found all the broken stuff. Anyway, I should probably just... Oh no, my lemon is not ready for some reason. So maybe you have to wait like a little bit.
Actually, BRB.
Anyway, there it is. We are ready to start at any point. As for full context, just in case, runners have agreed to do this unrestricted, as in we're going to see the full package, every single possible skip, if they want to. So that's going to be pretty interesting in terms of how many things they are going to be able to skip. Also, we are racing on the open preset. With few changes, we are going to exclude from having progression two of the most annoying checks. Those are Rupee Fairy and Octoball. And also Zelda for no vanilla of light, except that doesn't work apparently. Anyway, we should be going now, I think. Yeah, there it is. For general context, Flora is mainly a glitchless runner, but has a lot of knowledge on tricks and some specialties on flipper stuff. Lemon is mainly a glitch hunter, but has come back from inactivity to find a lot of things and has played a lot of randos. So this should be a pretty close race if everything goes well. Also, Flora is going right to the Rabio signs, going against the meta.
I mean, that's an interesting choice, but as you can see, it allows her to immediately game over and get that item right away.
Lemon is gonna do this cool jump instead and get 2 items right away. Ooh. Alright, shoutouts to Boomerang. Actually useful item in random for one check.
Yeah, sometimes. Actually, freestanding are randomized, but the models are not updated to appear correctly. So
I miss what was on Merchant. But we're gonna see now because Flora can actually... Oh, in glasses, never mind.
Yep.
Right, Flora's gonna find her own Boomerang. Most likely not by the hidden glasses, but I'm gonna have the truck already just in case. It's just a meme. They don't really do anything.
Not yet.
Ooh, an early fire rod.
That's super useful because, I mean, the fire rod is just useful for a lot of glitches in general, but it also tends to appear late, so having that early is a huge boon.
It's also a weapon. Our first weapon. Going shortless here in this rando is super common at the start, so you really have to account for it. Also opens the entire sanctuary, so Lemon is gonna go there and get 3 items, hopefully.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned before, but this is open mode, so it sort of starts the game in a sort of post. It's sort of a weird combination of post Thank, post Eastern a little bit. Yeah, just kind of a mix up, and that also means that all the swords are shuffled. Normally, in the default settings, the first 2 swords and the first bracelet are not randomized.
Unfortunately, Lemon is gonna find a key here, which means the 3rd item inside Sanctuary needs merge. And Flora is gonna miss that fire rod and just go to the mountain. Unfortunately, fails the jump. This is actually a pretty easy trick to learn, and it opens Private Shop pretty much at the start of the game. So unrestricted rules really go for this every single time. There's no reason not to. Oh, Flora has fire rod, never mind. I suck. Just do a very specific thing with not having sword. Since the game doesn't really know how to remove the item from your sword, or from your hand rather, it just stays there. Right, and with this, and only 100 rupees, so pretty limited. Flora's gonna death warp here after getting this open chest, and go right to Trophy Shop, which is not in logic yet, but it can contain a lot of things.
You'll also notice that quick equip is enabled by default. Normally it's not available until after you get the Master Sword.
Quick equip is actually super important, and most people that start just playing the game from the random don't know about it, or don't have it set up, but it really saves a lot of time. Maybe tens of minutes over a run if it's really long.
I didn't even know about that.
And this shop is absolutely loaded.
Unfortunately, Flora's gonna be able to buy like 2 things at most? 3? 3 useful things. Chooses the bombs and the bracelet. Meanwhile, Lemon is gonna get the full package. Right, bombs are really important, by the way. They are both gonna open Moda right away, I think. Right, did I miss a bottle?
Flora didn't have enough money to buy the sword, I believe.
And Lemon actually forgot to get the gloves. These are Titan's meats by logic. For now. Never mind, Flora didn't actually open Moda, I think.
No, I think she went straight to Eastern.
Believe it or not, Miami's are not randomized, but they are really useful in the current racing meta, which is a really weird thing to say. Basically, there's one nice item that trumps every single other item, and they're wanna get it for sure. And I'm probably the biggest offender of that, because nice bombs have been my propaganda item from the start, and everyone gets it now.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage boosts that are either not possible or like a single frame with the normal bombs, but if you upgrade them, it makes them either easier or just outright possible.
Patiently waiting
Lemon,
for the day the nice items are shuffled, so you don't
my
immediately want to buy
shuffling.
my collecting adventure anymore.
I don't know. I like nice items being there right now, so we'll see if that's gonna be actually good.
But of course, if they're shuffled, what happens when you turn in 10 Mai-Mais, you know? That could be an item.
Right, Flora, just hopping out of the harpies there. Got 50, so she's gonna get a sword. Instead of actually going to Eastern Palace. Eastern is pretty dense with items, and it could have been completed right in there, but it's kind of risky considering it's not actually required to finish.
I think she definitely wanted to get a sword though, because it's just extremely useful in general.
Ooh, we're probably gonna see damage boost to get the letter here, while Flora gets the lamp. Not super useful, but actually required in logic to finish the seed. Oh, there was actually a lot in this. I'm having a lot of trouble watching both streams, so sorry.
Mhm.
That means that was our mountain access, and therefore actual Ravia shop. Lemon is probably gonna try to fireball boost here and just run after that. This is not an easy one, by the way. Any diagonal fireball boost is really inconsistent, but gets it pretty easily. Right, and the ball is not actually randomized, by the way. Ooh, flippers. All right, another Ravia shop access, actually. Right, flippers often quite a lot of the early game, so it's not that ideal of an item to find, just like that blue mail, because dying in this game is fast, so having a less ability to die is bad.
At least until you get the bell, which
If
could
you
be
ever
anywhere.
find it.
So, yeah. Bell on Zelda for the win.
I actually checked the spoiler log for Zelda, so maybe it's not there, but who knows?
Wow, spoilers.
Yeah, Bell is absolutely not necessary for anything, so it could be in any single position in the game. Right, Flora actually entering Eastern Palace. 9 items, as I said, can get everything, and unlocks 4 items after that, so it's a pretty good check to the early game. We're only looking for an extra sword, really. After that, they are both gonna go to low right away. I'd imagine, at least.
Currently, the one you normally get after beating Yuga is randomized, The first one in standard mode is vanilla all the time, and in open mode you more or less just start with that one. You only need to get one bracelet to be able to merge.
Okay, Lemon doing this area now. Gonna find the flippers and we'll see if he decides to actually enter Eastern Palace as well. The shadows to these weird fire strats to blow up the bomb. It's actually faster, but it's very junky. At least compared to the bow, which does the same thing. And hey, we get to see Ballroom. Such a great room that we never see in any percent because it's so slow. Right, Titans for Lemon.
Yeah. Oh, and Flora also picked that up. Or wait, no, she didn't buy the glove in Ravios yet. That's right.
Titans early game open a few things, so it's somewhat important, and they are technically required to finish the game, but in Unrestricted you don't even need the Power Glove to actually finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not super useful. Oh, Lemon going right to Zoras.
I will say, forgot to mention this about the bracelet is, in the vanilla game, the bracelet you get from Yuga doesn't actually do anything. So like if you were to just take the vanilla game and put that bracelet in a chest somewhere, it wouldn't do anything at all. Your ability to merge is actually set by an event flag that you get during that cutscene. So that was some fun trying to figure out how to get that to work properly.
There's a lot of weird flag things in this game.
Oh yeah.
And a really notorious one that a lot of people have run into, especially on first hit, is the Sahasala soft lock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought I fixed that, but I never did.
It's a really weird thing that also happens in... I mean, it happens if you skip the part where you have to go to Sahasala's house. So it's super common in speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
Basically everything basically this. What can we explain? Things in chests are random. Things on the ground that aren't money are random. There's a lot of money, and you don't have to spend too much of it. And we need to finish all 7 Laurel dungeons. That's about it. Right, Floor has bombs, boomerang, and fire rod, all of which can actually defeat Yuga with the sword, of course. So we'll see what she chooses to actually do this.
Yeah, you can defeat Yuga with any ranged weapon, and that includes, I believe, sword beams.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah, the logic doesn't account for that yet, but it's just a matter of time.
Like, my one single favorite thing or combination of items to finish this is Fire Rod and Merge and nothing else. Because Fire Rod can actually hit Yuga here, and then you just suffer through the room before it by using pots. There's a lot of cool combinations, so this dungeon is pretty fun.
Now, technically, Zaw's sword beam is in logic for doing everything in Eastern except the final boss. Boss.
Okay, shoutouts to what Flora is about to do, or maybe she has already done it because delay. Just jump down there. Stop going left, emerging, and then going right back. Please just go diagonal. Everyone who actually plays this game. I think there was nothing in this dungeon. We have one chest left, but pretty much nothing. There's actually a funny tendency of the logic that there are no items in dungeons most of the time. I have no idea why, but the few exceptions have been crushing because lower dungeons are mostly easy to finish with some exceptions.
Yeah.
But-
Also, funny cutscene bug.
All right, that's a lot of dance. Wait, Lemon actually bought a shield. Yikes. You can buy a shield at any point for 50 rupees, I think. It's technically useful, but you get a permanent one later on if you're lucky. So why would you buy one?
To answer your questions, Ozza, beating Eastern Palace opens up a handful of checks in the overworld. The other two, no, just for opening pedestal.
There are a few random things that happen when you actually get one of the pendants, like Rosso disappears and Oren also disappears, the Zoro Queen. But in terms of checks, except the one time that it broke some checks, it doesn't really do anything. Also, getting all three removes Cyrene from the room for fast travel, so that's bad. My Flora is actually gonna start getting my mice and probably doing the south checks after actually visiting Marine for the sand rod, which is completely useless right now. And it's generally completely useless unless there's something inside Desert Palace. And you actually have to... Go ahead.
I was going to say you generated the seed, so could be pretty cursed based on prior experience.
Yeah. To answer the question, my mice don't actually have any items behind them, but the racing meta, again, it's a pretty funny thing to say, considering how new this is actually getting at least 10 mice and getting nice bombs. Oh, hey, Ice Rod. That's pretty useful as well. Most nice items are not that nice. Some people will say that Fire Rod is amazing, but the actual big hitbox is going to make a lot of skips impossible or really hard. Nice Rod, aka Nice Ice Rod, is kinda good, but actually has a lower rate of fire. So it's not that great once you actually know how to quick cancel. And the others are basically nothing.
The nice hookshot is actually a nerf because a lot of times you want the hookshot for stunning enemies, and the nice hookshot does damage to them. So it's in some cases it's actually worse to have the nice hookshot.
I guess Nice Tirot is now decent considering Treacherous Tower.
Yeah.
But why would you get it? Ooh, Lemon really struggling with this. I have no idea why Flora is trying to equip the Sand Rod. I guess it was glitchless memory. Because Desert Palace is something that you actually see in glitchless. Oh well. Oh hey! That's a boat. Fun fact, the bow is not good. It doesn't open anything.
Yeah, since Eastern can be done with pretty much any ranged weapon, the bow is effectively a junk item 90% of the time.
It has appeared in Zelda's deck most of the time when you don't find it anywhere else. It's a pretty good utility item for some skips and blowing up bombs fast, but otherwise it's not really that great to find. And so far, no items anywhere. Useful items, that is, aka a sword. The difference in time. Good question. I've completed both Unrestricted and Grisly Seeds in under 330 with most checks, so I wouldn't say the difference is necessarily giant, but it's kind of big, assuming you can do everything and skip most things. Also, why is Lemon doing this?
Lemon has Titans, man. Why is he doing this?
Showing off? I guess. This is a really hard boost, by the way. I never get it.
To answer someone's question in chat, currently there's only one set of logic. There's no glitched logic yet.
There we go.
And finally,
I remember
Yeah,
that damage boost being required for a route to beat Tower of Hera without merge, because you needed the heart container, surprisingly. Or the heart piece, I mean.
Merciless Hera, at least the climb, is actually useful in Rando, which is funny. But you have to get an extra heart or an extra meal and actually survive the climb. It's not that easy.
Did we explain why they get an item out of nowhere right there? That's the
it's Irene.
bell item. Yeah, that's Irene.
She doesn't exist, fortunately.
Yeah. There's 4 spots you can get it in. And 3 of them are right next to each other up there, so.
Right, entering Lost Woods for some checks, and after that, probably Rosa's house. Shoutouts to this hard piece, because you can also get it merciless. And if it's vanilla, it's really bad. Talking from experience. And he's actually going to cack, never mind. At this point, Gag has 5 checks, I think, and a bunch of Mai, so it's actually pretty good. And Golly also didn't have an item, so it's either minigames or Rosso, or nothing out of Eastern Palace was actually worth it. And we're gonna see chickens. Everyone's favorite minigame.
And Master Ore on the Merchant. Not going to be useful until they get to low roll, but.
Yeah, masters are. Go ahead.
Oh.
So I didn't notice. Is the 3rd difficulty of the Coco game unlocked by default?
Yes.
And Endless was actually unlocked in earlier versions, but not anymore. I don't know if someone tried to play it and just thought that was the item, but don't worry, Endless is not a thing that you have to do in this random. For now?
Or ever,
Yes.
if you're sane.
I remember when I was thinking about, what stuff was randomized, wondering if that had an item on it. But thankfully it doesn't, so
Yeah,
I should say unique item, but
it just has big chicken and nothing else. Alright, Lemon at 5 Maiamais, and he's gonna start cleaning up the rocks. Shoutouts to... Oh, come on. Shoutouts to this particular check, which had both light on our first inaugural seed and made everyone
Shoutouts
stop
to
block.
Ben Stevens in Game Stapled who missed this check and then couldn't complete the seed because this check disappeared on an older version.
good stuff.
I have no idea how you're supposed to know that it's a check. I think it was Errol who found it or knew about it and just added to a random after that.
My streams are buffering.
And for actually got the chickens. Yay. Ooh! Alright. I know why Lemon actually got a shield. Because it's good for moving enemies. And we're gonna see a pretty cool clip here. That is a really recent find by Araxis. You just boop, and into the thing. For more money. Get used to that. Right, we're gonna see Rupee Rush from Flora. This is a 30-second minigame, and you want to finish as close as possible to that 30-second mark and get at least 34 rupees in order to get the 3+ multiplier. But it's actually pretty easy to find enough rupees, and you can actually finish earlier if you are lucky enough. Of course, they are both running with timers, so it's not that hard to time. That's for vanilla. I guess Mountain is the logical choice here, considering it's probably the only non-separated check from everything. It's 4 things, I think? No, 5 checks before going to Hera. And then we can't really enter her, but getting the weather vane is pretty useful. Kosama is needed to enter her and to get one check that we're gonna see in the next cave. And after that, you can't really progress through the rest of the mountain. Flippers? I actually don't know if Lemon got the flippers. I wasn't paying attention, but they were in the merge treasure dungeon, which is Sahara's house in A Link to the Past for refunds. Flippers are gonna be required eventually, but they are not actually required to end the Lordle unless the sword is triple slot.
So I think besides Death Mountain, there's the Bombs treasure dungeon left. There's the Sank ledge. And... Oh, I think... I was going to say Overend, but they haven't found the smooth gem.
Yeah, it's not vanilla anymore.
No, it isn't. I made this. There we go.
Right, pretty far up. Not ideal, but can definitely finish this and then Death Warp. The Master Sword opens the actual way to Laurel, or at least the castle, and then you need merge to actually get to Laurel. I hope no one actually goes all the way up the Yuga Tower without merge.
I mean, I definitely didn't see someone do that in one of the early races. So...
Okay, get this Weather Vane and either die through rocks or just wait out rapidly. Blue Metal makes dying kind of hard because enemies deal half damage, but you can actually just void out, which is always half hard. Except Lemon is not doing it apparently. So this is gonna take a while. There's actually only one important item ahead of Lemon, and that's Ice Rod. It was a pretty bad high roll.
And flippers. So technically, Flora can do Thieves as soon as she gets to low roll. Which could come in handy.
She's gonna find her sword in about, I want to say 3 minutes. I don't know how long it takes to get to a chest. I'm just used to 20% timing. Oh yeah, shoutouts to this chest, by the way. It's one of the first actual bugs that I found in Rando.
Yeah.
It's actually in vanilla.
Yeah, actually a vanilla bug. Unfortunately, it's useless in vanilla, but...
Yeah, this is 20 rupees, I think, in vanilla.
I think it's only 5.
It's terrible, but this chest actually refills itself if you get it and then come back after breaking the barrier.
It's actually I think it's save and reload. It respawns it. It doesn't persist between saves.
Oh, still a pretty good thing on early versions to just duplicate source. And Master Wars, I think, one time. There's also this balcony chest, but this doesn't really refill. And it's the last stop before we have to go. And is he not? Oh, right. Castle Rocks lamp. Now we can actually climb. Since this is a pretty common request, I guess I can just say it. When are we gonna be able to enter Laurel portals without doing this? Is it part of the plan?
As with all things, eventually, TM.
Personally, don't really mind climbing it up, but people are getting tired of it. It's just a gauntlet of enemies. It has some cool tricks, but we're not gonna be able to see any of them because no Tornado Rod, no Ice Rod, nothing. Yes, we can. Never mind. He doesn't have the bow. The one thing in this part that bow is actually useful for. She's sniping that red guy on the left, right.
I believe Hyrule Castle in Link to the Past has a check though, or is it all keys?
It's 2 chests with keys.
Okay, never mind.
It's just linear, but in key sanity, I guess it's kind of important.
Yeah.
But in terms of vanilla, it's just go ahead and get a few things on the way. At least we don't have too much RNG in this final boss. Like, you can lose a lot of time here if you go to do this S2. Wait, did I see Lemon not jump to the left here?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like,
Ah! Get this guy out there, please! Just go left. Any percent runners and their no knowledge of the game.
I mean, there's eventually going to be an option to open the portals from the start. You'd still need Bracelet, but that would obviously open things up a bit.
Soulless Laurel would be quite an experience. Right, Flora is actually ready to go to Laurel, but she's gonna stop and get Nice Bombs right away. Which is actually a pretty good plan. Nice Bombs are really good right from the start.
And now she's upgrading the quote-unquote Master Sword.
Yeah, shoutouts to that as well. It's always pretty amusing when you upgrade the piece or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm lazy and haven't gotten around to fixing the text boxes and stuff. So yeah, that's why it's not 1.0. So.
Alright, shout out to the quick strat that hopefully Lemon is gonna do. I really hope he does. For Yuga too, you can just double spin it for the last phase. It makes it really fast. You have to somewhat get lucky, and he didn't. But you can just charge at the center and react fast enough. So not a fast fight, unfortunately. Where the hell was Ice Rod? I'm trying to actually remember. I know where Bow is, but where was Ice Rod? Was it Bear Lover? The hobo? I think it was. So that's Flipper's block.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So Lemon is gonna have to go back to it. And at about 40 minutes, which is actually pretty much an 80% time, we are in the low. Bro has a lot of things open right from the start. So we'll see what the actual route that Lemon takes is. Hopefully Flora actually remembers to jump to the left here in a few rooms. Alright, shoutouts to heal attacks as well, which should go away at some point. And shoutouts to Ice Rod. That room is really fast with it.
You do need the Bow of Light. It is shuffled, so you need to find that somewhere. And unfortunately, it can be anywhere, including on Zelda. And this
Imagine.
version has a propensity for putting Bow of Light in its vanilla location.
Alright, Lemon's gonna take Stylish Moment right away. This opens the one portal in this area, which is actually really slow to enter because every time you enter, she's gonna blow you a kiss, and that's a pretty lengthy cutscene, but it's still pretty useful. And I have no idea where he's going, but minigames, maybe. Oh yeah, hints are also hot topic with this, especially with Bow of Light. Just know that if you're playing this version, it's probably vanilla Bow of Light, and you should go there, but save before it.
The good thing is, if it's not, it's at least pretty easy to game over on Ganon. Or you could just soft reset.
Oh, Lemon is going right away to Hypnox. At least I think so. Because no nice bombs for Dark Palace is probably a bad play. So let me just ask Jeff Photon right away. Do you know what the Scare Hypnox is? It's super obscure.
I think I knew about this track.
It's available right away. Even without flippers, you can just fall down here and merge. And basically you bully a random Hypnox that is hiding around here and gives you 6 items.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of value.
Yeah, I originally was gonna just shuffle the last one, but as I was going through like the logic and stuff, I realized that this game doesn't really have an equivalent of Hype Cave from Link to the Past. So instead, we get Hypnox. And unfortunately, not very hyped this time.
That's an absolute 0. The one really main quality of this guy is that he deals 5 hearts of damage. It's gonna be half at this point, but it's a really, really quick death warp.
And the other thing is, in the vanilla game, the amount of items he gives you is actually random. I don't know what the exact range is, but this obviously it's changed to just always give you the maximum 6 items.
Right, Flora is entering Laurel now, about 4 minutes after that. So behind on actual progress, but really ahead on items. She's gonna be able to just finish Thieves hideout right away if she wants to. Just go and get whatever item Ravio is holding here in his house, which is nothing. And probably, I would say that Lemon is gonna go to the Swamp Cave, which is a super annoying check if you're not cheating. And in this case, we're cheating, so it's a pretty good value. And it's another check that recently, oh no, he's not going there. Recently, there has been a lot of ways to enter this cave. We only knew about one, which is boots. But getting on the ledge is pretty easy with a viral boost, or using nice bombs, or normal bombs if you're really crazy. But then actually entering the rock, you can just walk to it for some reason. The collision is really weird and you just slip into the cave that is behind. Otherwise you would have to go and get the big bomb and score it all the way here, which is really, really annoying.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really cool how people have either found stuff or just repurposed stuff for the randomizer that you wouldn't see in a normal speedrun.
not having too much lag with that boost, unfortunately. So Lemon is gonna forfeit. And since someone asked, yes, the big bomb is actually part of the logic to open this beacon house. It's a pretty frequently asked question.
Yeah, I haven't
I should
seen
probably add it.
anyone. I haven't seen anyone get bombs there yet, but one day.
All right, Lemon is probably tipping Thieves now, so we're gonna see both runners there. This is a pretty lengthy dungeon. Unfortunately, the flags don't really work for us. It's not good for rando. If you find the big key right away, you can just go. There's so many layers of protections. Maybe someday we can go.
Yeah. In that way, it's similar to Link to the Past. You need to bring Thief Girl to the boss arena. The only issue, of course, is that there's the big chest. If you don't get it before fighting the boss, you can't get it afterwards.
Nice
And
sync,
look
by
at
the
that!
way.
Look at that sync.
Why would you? All right, the correct route here is just not getting this chest and getting it after the mid boss with the teleporter. Unfortunately, they are not playing by the rules apparently. Also, it's pretty important to note this is supposed to be an idleness dungeon in how it's designed. There's a few things that require bombs, but there's a bomb enemy that you can just use. But that's actually not true. You need flippers. You're supposed to have flippers every single time in vanilla. It's not the case in random. It's not the case in speedruns if you are somewhat crazy. So Flora is gonna be able to finish it, but not Lemon yet. You can finish it flipperless, but it requires Thorny Rod, which is an amazing item for late game, but a pretty bad item for early game. And it's not required. So maybe we won't find it. Oh yeah, maybe Lemon has flippers and we just didn't know. That's also a point. And unfortunately, full flipperless, at least for now, is not possible. Because they are a really, really hard requirement for Swamp Palace specifically. You can play flipper to a few other things, but right now, not that. Be sure to collect lots of them. Oh, we also don't have hammer. Oops. Hammer is also pretty important for speeding up this particular dungeon. Probably the best use of hammer.
I think at this point, the worst thing to be on pedestal would probably be hookshot.
Hookshot locks to the dungeon, so yeah, it's definitely hookshot. Of course, it could be Bow of Light, but
I mean, obviously, yeah, bow light would also be bad. I think hookshot would just be worse.
it could also just be junk. There's a lot of that. So yeah, this is the score mission to actually fight the boss. So welcome to this. With Woods, it's pretty much sped up, since you can just not talk to Thief Girl to stop her. But otherwise, it's pretty bad. Also, Lemon is exiting the dungeon, so no flippers. Confirmed. Oh yeah, Bell in Pedestal would be absolutely terrible. If there's a seed that ever has that. That's just another thing that a lot of people have requested, just starting with Bell or having some sort of easier option to get Bell.
Hmm.
And I'm not a fan of starting with Bell, just from routing with Death Wolves is kind of fun. Just knowing where to die and how to die fast.
Hmm. The good thing is I did find where the starting item code is, I guess.
Ooh.
So maybe in 0.3.
All right. We found
There's
the tornado rod.
so much stuff I have to get to. But
So Lemon is going to Skull Woods, which is a bad play generally. It's the worst dungeon in terms of how many items it has, and it's really slow. But he just found the best possible item to speed it up. Hideout is really, really good. Big chest in Thieves is an or yeah, which is why it's pretty important as a first dungeon. You can get half a sword upgrade and a lot of rupees. Too bad it's kind of important to do it last. At least by vanilla standards. Oh, and nice rooms are gonna come into play in the next room, by the way. Actually, 2 rooms over. For a really, really fast cleanup. And just in case it wasn't obvious, if one of those Zazaks, the crocodile guys that try to get Steve Girl, actually catch Steve Girl, she just goes back to the cell you find her in, and you have to go all the way there, or you get teleported most of the time, actually.
yeah, the good thing is you don't have to go through the basement again. So
I'm first not gonna use the nice bombs. Why would I actually mention the strat? Anyway, Steve Girl is really annoying, but she's only needed for this boss in particular and this check. The rest actually open up once you finish the boss. And we didn't find the compass, I think. No, she has a compass.
Yeah.
So pretty much an empty dungeon, unless Heart Container has something. First we have to... Ooh, Lemon getting grabbed. Oops. First we have to do Hammerless Style Blind, which is really annoying. For reference, Hammer can double hit and double damages Style Blind for a total of 24 damage. And phase 2 only has, I think, 46 health. So that's just 2 hits with the hammer. And second phase is also pretty fast, but not quite as fast. So it's a really, really good weapon for this guy in particular. Also shoutouts to Party Room coming up. Lemon takes it super easy, but you can just go right away and do this thing and ignore the enemies. It's kind of hard and inconsistent, and it's one of the reasons that this dungeon is terrible. But yeah, you can just do that and skip the puzzle. And Starblind is dead. There's one thing that you can do here, and that's leave the pending from Osfala for the end. Because it actually speeds up things. Triforce cutscene is still not skipped, and getting this pending last actually skips it. But it also locks 2 checks, and it may be a risk. We'll see if Flora actually does it. And Lemon trying to circle to get the chest. It's a pretty hard strat. No man, Flora is not gonna skip that. Oh, Swala unlocks the Sandrod check inside Rogue's shop, which you can actually check before and see what item it is. I don't know if they actually did. I don't remember what item was there. And it also unlocks one thing, a cave where Steve Girl goes to after finishing the dungeon. Oh yeah, we're gonna see eyeball dupe here. Pretty important trick that you maybe want to learn, even if you don't know any glitches here, because it saves a lot of time. And maybe it will be allowed in a racing rule set, who knows? There we go. You basically just grab the eyeball out of thin air when it enters, and you can place it on the other one. Very useful trick in 90% and in 100%. And also in rando, of course. It saves just having to pick up the other eyeball and go all the way around. Right, Flora's gonna go to the sanctuary now. We missed one check, I think, here. So maybe it's important. Oh, also for some reason, it forces you to have the lamp equipped and equip it. And yeah, shoutouts to Bagnet. Absolutely useless item, at least in the settings. It may be required to actually hand the golden bee, but it's not actually part of these settings. And I'm pretty sure that Lemon is missing an item, but he's probably gonna skip this and come back later. Because Knuckle Master is an absolutely horrid boss with Master Sword.
It's not that much better, regardless. It's just extremely cycle based.
That's dungeon 1 for Lemon. Meanwhile, Flora took a pretty long path. The intention of doing this is going to this portal, I assume. And just doing graveyard. That's a few checks, and one thing that was kind of known but not really useful in Rando is that you can damage boost to the ledge here and go to Hypnox and Dark Palace. So that's pretty good rubbing. Anyway, Knuckle Master actually has an item, so we may have to go back for it. It's risky to skip it for this season. Ooh, alright.
Alright.
That's pretty convenient. And that's
Lemon
also...
picks up another Master Ore, so now he can get the Hyrule Blacksmith check.
That's super close by, so super convenient. Smooth Jam is also really close by if she decides to go there after or before Hinox, considering she can actually go in and out. And she can do everything in the area in one go, so that's pretty great. Oh yeah, and Golden Bee. It's there. shout out to the poor souls that play without this vendor being the only requirement or only possible logical golden bee. I've seen people just farm for about an hour. It's not fun.
Not at the moment, Estancia. Maybe one day.
Wait, you can walk through those trees? Hello? What? Alright, I learned something today. It's not useful, but it's something that I've learned. Unfortunately, that golden bee wasn't really anything. Also, the real big problem of randomizing a golden bee is that people can actually just use it thinking it's not useful. So I think that vendor in particular should never be randomized. Just saying. Oh, Pro is actually gonna do the Sanctuary Treasure Dungeon. I guess there's a portal right here, so there's no reason to enter the other one. Never mind. This only requires merge, but you generally want to do it after having Tornado Rod, because it speeds up things a lot. It's so good with Tornado Rod that CSR actually has the page and or called Tornado Rod Treasure Dungeon rather than Merge Treasure Dungeon. It's not actually Tornado Rod. I'm pretty sure I, at some point, said, hey, that doesn't make sense. The spoiler log says Tornado Rod is in the Tornado Rod Treasure Dungeon.
Yeah, I remember that early on.
That was so stupid of me. First try chickens for Lemon, saving a lot of time over Flora there. He's somewhat close to the boat, but considering where Flippers were, he may take a long while to find them. This should also be in my mind number 10, if he gets it. Like, actually getting the Mima here doesn't stop the timer, by the way, so it's risky. But you also have plenty of time. It's not that big of a deal. But he was way over, so never mind. This isn't actually a remake. I don't like when that's the descriptive for this. It's technically a sequel, considering the Japanese title, but it's just a completely separate game with some similarities, mainly the Overworld. A Link to the Past, but good.
That's one way of putting it, I guess.
It's A Link to the Past, but more fun, at least for me. Right, Oren. Just some monster cats. So that smooth jam doesn't really do anything for us. Just more health. With red mail and 9 hearts, I think, if I got it right. Flora is starting to pile up a lot of health, which is not great, assuming we don't find Bell ever. Oh yeah, shout outs to this check. Because we actually found a pretty good name for it. For this general area. This is Paradox Portals, because one portal, you take it from the lower side and you end up higher, and the other one, you take it from the lower side in Laurel and end up higher in Hyrule, which makes no sense. I think Lemon is trying to think what to do right now. If he has actual Mice to get the nice ones. Because I would assume that Dark Palace is his next destination. Oh yeah, most stages you actually meet, but I think we don't meet a single one of them in the rando. Celes is on screen for like 2 frames before disappearing, I guess. Not like you see many of them in any percent.
Yeah. Poor Rosso gets replaced with a chest. So
Rosso was never useful.
sorry, turned into a chest. So
Alright, Flora is gonna go to Dark Palace now. Lemon is probably gonna actually maybe going to the cave first. Where's he going? Oh, Flipper Station Dungeon. We're gonna see nice monsters here, which are pretty nice. Fun fact, the fastest way to actually finish this is by not having flippers. And yeah, we're gonna see the first instance of animation storage here. If he actually gets it. He doesn't really have flippers now, but the racing water just makes the game think that you have flippers. Because you shouldn't be standing in water.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Oh.
I've never seen that.
Alright, that works. Never mind.
But apparently, yeah, you can still get there. And it's purple.
Meanwhile, Flora going through Dark Maze. You can skip this if you have boots, and it's actually pretty useful, still in random. Because when you beat Dark Palace, every single card disappears, so it makes navigating this fast. How did Flora get caught there, by the way? That was some OT shenanigans. I mean, Bloated Oren doesn't really count as actual Oren. But sure, we see Oren, so that's 1 sage. Alright, just in case someone is wondering, the monster parts actually have a use. And I've seen some people play the rando use them. You can only get red potions in the witch's shop normally, and the rest actually require some monster parts. Blue potions require 10 monster tails and 200 rupees, and that's a full health refill. The other ones are invincibility and damage, and they require 10 of the other ones. I doubt we're gonna see any potions either way. That part is a really weird dungeon, by the way, in random. And you have to do basically everything in order. So it's really, really annoying, but at the same time, it's a pretty heavy dungeon in terms of execution. And also, since you need bombs every single time, not getting nice bombs is a bad idea. Doing Minigame early? That's... I don't want to say unconventional because I don't know what people do, but I never do this so early. Mainly because it's really weird to actually complete. I just throw bombs from the upper part. Also, why are we talking about oracles and Zelda games in general? Right, the actual key logic here, by the way, at least to avoid softlocks, because a lot of people were softlocking, is that you need 3 keys before actually being able to enter any locked door. Because if you misuse every single key, you are really, really gonna get locked.
Mhm.
But you only really need 1 and just go upstairs. It's kind of weird to route. So the last key is either vanilla right here or on the maze. But the maze takes a while, so just leave it for the end. Hey, shout outs to these revolving doors. Another thing that every single stream that I watch does wrong, and I even have a specific video for that I posted. Please don't merge into the walls. Just do that. It's that easy. And after opening this, just don't forget to get this particular chest. And 2F is done. So far, no items here either. And that place is usually the one dungeon that has at least something. So pretty disappointing. I guess we're gonna have all checks on the overworld again. I had no idea what Flora was doing with that wall, but I thought I was about to witness something that I didn't even realize could be done. Anyway, coming up, a pretty important skip to keep in mind, because you can just not get one key in this dungeon from a pretty much intended thing. Like, there's no way this is not intended. Just hit the switch. Now, you may ask yourself, but Lemon doesn't have the ice rod. He can do that. Oh no! He has to get an extra key and go beat the mid-boss. Don't fret. Thankfully, nice bombs are really, really good.
Very nice.
It's so big. God, I love them. They also destroy this boss. I don't know if that's gonna work actually. Those are pretty far off. Never mind. Yeah, that's the first 2 phases of Gemma Sword. Just like that. Of course, the bomb still 6 damage, so it's a pretty good substitute for an extra sword.
Mhm.
So shoutouts to this boss being absolutely free.
Also, this portrait is one of probably the primary reason we don't have shuffled portraits yet.
True. Part about this, Goldie just hanging up there means that
Yeah.
he can't be placed anywhere.
Yeah, I should make a video of that somewhere, just so people can see for themselves. But yeah, Gully is a word I can't say on stream, so.
8? 7 Sage? He's the 7 Sage.
That he is.
I don't know why Flores has stopped. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But we get to see Golly more. He's the second best Sage, so that's fine. And yeah, despite having nothing, this is still a dungeon that we have to finish. And from here, Flora can just go and beat Turtle Rock right away. Lemon has to do something else, probably.
So, Estantia, what, Gully is the only portrait that, painting, whatever. They're portraits in game, and I always get the names confused. It's because it's the only one where it moves after you beat the boss. All the others just stuck in place. And so if you put most portraits, if you replace them with other paintings, they just work more or less. It's an oversimplification, but Gully, if you put Gully in another painting's position, he just stays up in the air forever, and you can't do anything to get him down.
Right.
And so that's why I say Gully is a little
7 Sage.
Inappropriate word. Yeah.
Lemon actually doing
it also starts with S. So.
Lemon is gonna go here and get his sweepers, so that's pretty nice. But Flora does this small damage boost because the Laurel Lake area with Turtle Rock is loaded from here, so you can just go to it. It's pretty useful.
I've actually already. I was gonna say I've already actually figured out how to fix that. It just I hadn't before, and I kind of put off doing the paintings in favor of other stuff. And then there's also an issue with putting paintings in pendant positions. I have a workaround for that, but it just hasn't been implemented yet.
Interesting part of this, by the way, Flora doesn't have the tornado rods, so she can't skip this quest. It's usually one of the easiest skips to learn.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be right back.
No problem. So yeah, Lemon actually getting the flippers. It's only a matter of time because he actually needs the ice rod, I mean, from below the bridge. And that's unlocked now. And Flora definitely really used to doing this because mainly a glitches runner, as I said. So hopefully she doesn't miss the cycle here. There we go. We can go right away to one of the most annoying dungeons to actually fully complete in a rando. I mean, actually, any normal playthrough, I guess. And let's just skip everything. If you go just to the boss, this dungeon is really nice. And there are plenty of moments to do that. And nice ones really allow that boss key skip to be done at any point. But the actual checks in the dungeon are really, really bad. I'm just going to show how good the tornado rod is for this particular part. Because you can just skip everything. The first really obscure check in Turtle Rock is killing every single Flamolas there. Those are the weird fire Moldorms, I guess we can call them. You can love them, and that just pops up. Also, just in case, we don't really need any single key, but we already got one, unfortunately. If you do this glitchless, you actually need one key only, unless you want to get every chest. Assuming you have the bow. The bow is really good for this part. But if you can just skip the thing and go right into the boss, you don't need a single key. Yeah, you can tilt the platforms. Flora going for this thing here, this hard piece. This is not part of a... Oh, nice hammer.
Wow, okay.
This is not part of a dungeon, so it can be a key or the compass or anything. So it always has an item, and in this case, it's a pretty decent item.
Not as useful as like the hook shot would have been, but it does open up a pretty decent handful of checks.
It's one check near Eastern, 2 checks near Rosa South, 1 check climbing up the mountain, and then the entirety of Hera. They probably don't want to go to Hera, but otherwise, it's a pretty good handful of checks. Red mail for Lemon. Hasn't really updated on the 2D model apparently. But just remember that red mail is actually a hindrance in this case. You don't want to see red mail. At least until we have the veil, if it appears. Unfortunately, Flora deciding to fall down here. You could just take the teleporter and snipe them somewhere else. Yeah, killing all of those spawns on the chest. This first floor in this dungeon is really annoying. There's just so many specific checks that you have to navigate through. There's no good route. Alright, that's every single dungeon item except compass, which is not a great sign. We have to do everything in 2F. Or B1, actually. Also, please don't forget that chest, Flora. I thought it was Bird Lover, which is the hobo, basically. Just with another name, and he talks about birds. Alright, so ideally, we don't want to kill one of the wisps here, but killing all of them reveals the big chest in the center, so it may be required.
Yeah, Turtle Rock is the most obnoxious dungeon to full clear, so...
We'll see if Flora actually does the Bosque escape, or if she decides to go for the glitter shot, which is really cool. So it would be nice, actually. Look at how the city is going, actually. Iceland's maybe go moded. Assuming we get boots, of course. Also, my streams are buffering. Flora going into the mid boss for some reason. Well, Lemon is actually going to desert. Desert has 2 checks and then the entirety of the dungeon, of course. But one of the most infamous escapes and one of the ones that they want to do, unless they are gambling, is Desert Pal escape. And right now, Lemon can actually do Desert Pal escape but not skip Zaganaga. So I think he's thinking of just doing the boss as normal. Oh yeah, shoutouts to this. Sandro treasure dungeon and this strat that I had no idea was possible. I don't know if it's a recent find, but it was something that Lemon himself found. Alright, Flora is actually gonna do the cool bow shot that I talked about. This part of glitchless, it's completely allowed because it's not a glitch, you just shoot the bow to that switch and walk around. Alright, Lemon gonna get this. Recently discovered, I think at least, that you can actually get this without the sand rod. I don't know if it will be part of the logic, but it's pretty funny. You just long merge with the stamina scroll, which we don't have yet. Just $50. Considering Ruby Fairy is excluded, we are not gonna use any of that money, unfortunately. Which are 100% necessary if you don't cheat.
Yeah, I was gonna say logically yes, but yeah, there's ways.
There's like 8 different ways to go out of bounds in this particular part, and that was one of them. It's super easy, you don't even need to quickly cancel, just use the fire rod and walk. And from here, you can go out of bounds and enter the boss arena. That position is not gonna work, but that one will. Right. And Granite is dead thanks to nice bombs. Decent RNG as far as I saw. Right. Don't forget. Thank you. Zaganog is not gonna trigger unless you go right in front of that particular portal. So jumping down here is a soft lock. And this is gonna be a pretty annoying boss to do on base Master Sword. But at least we have Sunrod. Imagine the horror of having to do low percent Zaganaga in a showcase phase. I think I'm still the only one that has even thought of doing low percent Zaga in Rando. Oh, we saw something weird with the Sunrod there. If you quickly cancel the Sunrod in particular really fast, it only spawns a pillar instead of multiple. Nice bagnet. So you have to be careful with that. Canceling every single item usage that you can is important to optimizing everything here. If you do that without thinking, with Sunrod in particular, it's gonna be really annoying. Where is Flora going? Desert? I guess? Yeah, desert. Compass on the boss, which actually does nothing unless that was fixed. And we save Irene.
Yeah, because I'm really, really good at programming. The filler algorithm doesn't account for the fact that you shouldn't be able to have the compass there. It doesn't mean much because, you know, these players know where everything is anyway, but...
What's actually really weird in this game, for one reason. They show every chest except the compass chest, because you're not supposed to have compass when you do that.
Yeah.
So there's no icon. Okay, Lemon is going to the lake. Gonna find the ice rod, hopefully. And that's gonna put us in the same plane of field, or field of something. English is hard. Unless he decides to deep House of Gales, which would be a really bad idea. Oh, god damn it.
Hookshot's gonna be inside, I'm calling it now.
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
House of Gales is notoriously really, really bad for items. It had Bow of Light once, and that's about it.
I guess we'll find out later if my prediction is correct.
We could have a...
I hope it's
never
not.
mind. We have a who wins prediction. We could have a where the hell is Bow of Light prediction, but it's a little late. Flora is actually gonna do the entirety of Desert. So watch out for that. There are some really cool things in this dungeon, but unfortunately, the dungeon itself is so damn long. It's not worth it. There's this exclusive clip, the only use of Sunrock clip, because every single rod in this game is broken. I guess there's also some pretty cool forgotten tech with the tornado rod from when we had to actually do this dungeon. But this is not gonna come into play in this case.
Hello?
Right, and Lemon can actually escape the turtles with a pretty easy escape. Like, you can learn this. I've teach some streamers this in like 5 minutes at most. It's just that easy. But if you don't get hit, of course. You just prefer animation storage and walk through
There
this.
you go.
And turn around. It's actually useful as well if you don't have the ice rod. You can just get the weather vane. We'll see how Lemon actually gets to this damn dungeon. Meanwhile, I guess I can talk about Desert Palace. It has a lot of keys. 5 in total, if I'm not mistaken. You can skip some chests, particularly here. If we only find one key, it means the big chest has the other one. But after that, it's just a lot of chests that open at the same time, and all of them can be keys, and you need all of them in business logic. And yeah, it also has a lot of items, but I haven't never seen anything in this dungeon. Can't unmerge because of the chest. Fortunate. You can just merge into the wall instead of doing that. Apparently she doesn't know. we actually got to go to this chest. Flora is gonna show how to actually do this room. A lot of people don't realize that you can do some cool stuff. So give you a spiel. Let's do that and skip every single other platform. For another key. So bad news, we have to go to the back of the desert. Starting with the quote-unquote mid boss, which is just tiles. Resident Sleeper. The one redeeming quality of a shield, by the way, is that room, because you can just hold there and go do your laundry or something. Alright, so in total, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 checks here for one lock key, or lock door, rather. So we have a lot of things to get, unfortunately. And we still need an extra key to fully finish this. If there's nothing here, it's gonna be a pretty big time loss for Flora, because I don't see Lemon actually entering this. You can actually move the camera in this game, just not too much. Oh yeah, shoutouts to that, putting out in lava to recover your stamina. Little known fact, apparently. Oh, and here's a pretty hot Glister strat to actually do this room fast. Because entering this particular room makes the cycle reset, and you can just do this really, really fast. Assuming you don't fall down, so she's gonna have to wait. Oops. Oh, Lemon is also gonna do this bow shot. I said that's not gonna work. Right, every single chest after this, which is 3, should be an item. So it's the last chance for this dungeon to pay up. And I meant with actual items, not money, but sure game. There's a lot of money in this game.
There
In case you
is.
the fact that you can buy everything at rental price really makes most of the money absolutely useless. And we don't have any items on Ruby Ferry. It's excluded, so we are gonna see even less of those.
Yeah. I don't think randomizing the buyables is going to be too big of an issue. The main thing is that, as I understand it, the shop, buying things only unlocks after you get the pendants. So, if buyable items were in the pool, that would mean essentially 9 additional opportunities to have a pedestal seed.
It may also be getting Master Sword instead, since most things in this game are either all pendants or Master Sword. Also, this room sucks. It's really hard to do this room optimally. And I'm talking from a glitchless world record perspective. There's no way to properly do this room. Thankfully, it can be skipped if you have the tutorial blood. But yeah, absolutely nothing inside Desert Palace. A huge time loss, as usual. And no sort of grace either, so Forrest's gonna have it rough for this part as well. That's another good part about nice ones, by the way. 6 damage means it's a pretty good kind of sword that you can use. That is basically 2 temper sword slashes. Oh, Flora also falling into that trap. The 1 pillar thing. Also, Lemon has a shield, so he can stop the spinning here. Or just get hit, that also works. Maybe this is not shieldable without Highland Shield? That's definitely not shieldable. Right, and we're gonna be equal in terms of number of dungeons finished. But no actual items inside those dungeons. I know it's a joke, but Pedestal is actually in logic right now, which is disheartening. I really don't want another seed that requires Pedestal generated by me. Oh, Lemon is gonna just death warp out of this. So it's your chance to go to the bathroom, because this is gonna take a while. I have no idea if it's faster at this point, but hey, why not? if the game doesn't want to give us the bell, then we have to improvise. Okay, I think it's time to take bets on where things are because we are starting to run out of checks. It's the entirety of Gales and Hera, one chest near Sanctuary, one chest near. Oh, by the way, Lemon Boost. Failed it? Whatever. This is a trick that Lemon find. It's not really a trick, just a specific timing to do that off of any ledge. And we're gonna see a synchronous dive into this cave, which is pretty nice. Except Flora fails it. It's really finicky. For boots! Okay, okay. Boots open to checks, and we could have skipped Zaganaga entirely if they decided to go here first. Oh, Flora really struggling with this. This is not an easy clip. Just decides to not work at some point. There are a lot of methods, as I said. Basically, all methods rely on one thing. Going straight down. Like, as straight down as you can. Bombs are one of them. You can just get hit and you always go down. You can walk if you are really precise. You can also Tornado Rod, which is really janky, but it works. And of course, you can also put. It's more about the position before actually getting the boost, and there we go. Boost at your dungeon was nothing, unfortunately. So it's either hot foot or nothing. Oh, and Lemon actually checked the blacksmith. I have no idea what blacksmith was. Hyrule blacksmith, I mean. Because you have to check it for that cutscene up here. It was probably nothing. We're gonna see Thief Girl here. Maybe base Thief Girl. Tends to have items. And also Lower Rupee Rush is actually easier than the normal one. We found Premium Milk. That's a fetch quest. So now the mountain is decently a good idea. No, we can't actually access the stack climber without that hookshot. So never mind. It's just bait. Nothing useful. Also, the requirement for this minigame in particular is 150. So you can end it really early, but apparently Lemon did way too early. Right, I just realized that we didn't mark Yuga. We should probably do that. Because every seed is a Yuga seed, but we kind of need to mark that. I don't know. That's a purple. Lemon, don't miss the purple. Lemon, there's a purple there. God damn it. Don't blue ball me like that. You even failed it again. Come on. I have no idea why Flora is struggling so much with this, but it is a kind of difficult check to do, so it's fine. Finally gets it. Flora is also gonna go here right now. So if we find the hookshot here, it could be a pretty good equalizer. Because I assume that Lemon is not gonna enter this side out until the very end, considering he found most of the items. Buy the big monk here. You can technically steal it, but not without the hookshot. Actually, yes, you can. You can damage boost out of bounds and then walk to it, but it's so annoying. And Big Bomb is gonna be needed for exactly one thing. Because we can enter, or it's normally required for Swamp Palace, but you can enter it without it, and it's much faster, of course. But we can... Oh, really? What the hell was that hitbox? Hello? How is that explosion so big and yet so terrible? I don't know. Anyway, this particular cave is the only hard requirement for the Big Bomb. That's for more rupees, so it didn't really matter. So Lemon is going north. Probably Thieves this time, since nothing here was actually anything. I didn't actually check if excluding the two checks that are on there, which are Ruby Fairy and Octoball, which are actually excluded, as requested by the runners. And I mean, I could check now in case it got not excluded. Never mind, we're fine. Zelda is the only one that actually doesn't work. Chicken Fall Treasure Dungeon. Not an actual item. The only freestanding items that are actually randomized are piece of heart containers, and small keys. The big rupees are not randomized, and I don't know if they are planned to be randomized.
Planned.
Yeah, you can skip them. I was talking about freestanding big rupees. I guess you can actually say if that's gonna be randomized at some point. Some are really obscure, so I don't know if it's a good idea.
Oh, I was planning on doing the freestanding silvers, but the only ones I know of are that treasure dungeon and the one in Low Rule Zora's Domain that you get from killing all the enemies.
There's also two in Turtle Rock, one in Dark Palace, and I don't know if there's any other freestanding inside dungeons.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a handful, but they are really obscure. Alright, Lemon is gonna be ahead on progression after this, so Flora is falling behind. She's probably waiting for either Sword Upgrade or the Tornado Rod to actually go into Skullwoods. We know that one of them is right there, so it's pretty unfortunate. Alright, this is new. And it's somewhat important. That's permanent shield and actual good shield. But it's not really something that is needed in Logic. It's gonna make Ganon really trivial. But at this point I expect both of these runners to be pretty proficient at Ganon. Which doesn't really mean anything. It's so easy to die to Ganon if you are going there without any upgrades. It's a really hard fight. Thankfully, after years and years of doing it just in Master and Green Tunic, I don't fear it, but everyone else should. Everyone else that doesn't run any percent, of course. At least Glitchless got an extra sort of grade because you don't really skip any bosses, so it's obviously faster. Okay, hopefully Flora doesn't skip the double heart container, or card piece rather, because that's Tornado Rod and that's gonna speed up a lot of things for her. And I think that's 4 ores, maybe, for her. I'm probably wrong. Oh yeah, that's one thing that we haven't seen yet. And it may be important, and that's a Knuckle Master Heart container. That's still an item. But what are the chances? Really? There's a chance that Flora is not gonna skip it. So hold your horses. Flora taking this A Link to the Past path. Really traveled, unless you're really confused on how to get to the dungeon. And she's actually gonna get the Tornado Rod, which is gonna be used right away on the other screen for this really minor but pretty cool time save. And Lemon actually has the hammer, so we're gonna see how to do Stallblind. Because again, Stallblind takes double damage from the hammer, and the hammer actually double hits. Hammer is base 3 damage, so you can calculate that and find that every single hit with the hammer that double hits is 24 damage. And that's a lot of damage. First phase is not that big of a deal, but you can interrupt this particular attack with a hammer if you're quick enough. Apparently it doesn't know about it. But it's a thing that you can do. Of course, can tank every single hit because red mail.
Wait, if the hammer double hits and does double damage, wouldn't that be 12, not 24?
It's 24 on the ZSR wiki, and it's supposedly 46 health on the second phase, and that's 2 double hits with the hammer.
Does it do more than double damage then?
I have no idea really.
Does it do times 4 and then also hit twice? That would be ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Just look at how fast that was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That wasn't even super optimal. Now, will he leave the painting be? Milk was behind this, and Milk could be important, but it's not accessible right now to actually go and deliver it. So we'll see. No, there's no way to complete Swamp without Hookshot or Flippers. You can really enter Swamp. Like, I think you can do a variation of the Big Bomb skip to walk underwater, and that doesn't require Flippers, but I may be wrong. But you can't really get past the first one. Okay, what is Lemon gonna choose? If I was a gambling man, I would go to the mountain right away. Just go to Hera. Seems like the most logical thing to do now. And here's Flora's party room. Never mind. None of them are actually taking the hard route. Okay, so Osvalda's painting has a special property, both in vanilla and here. Osvalda gives you the sand rod during the talk inside the Chamber of Secrets. And of course, you're supposed to need the sand rod to finish the game. So you don't really need any, or what am I trying to say? You need actually the sand rod to finish. So it means that that dungeon can be the last through some trickery or some random magic. Of course, you can do the Thieves hideout last, and that skips the Typhus cutscene because the cutscene of Svala giving you the sand rod gets
Yeah, and there's our hook shot.
Gets interrupted by the Typhus thing, and the Typhus thing doesn't happen. So you can just leave it at for the end. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hookshot opens one check right there, which I'm surprised he skipped. One check somewhere around here, and the entirety of east side on Death Mountain.
Yeah. And now, as per usual, the game becomes the Bowl of Light hunt.
Could be anywhere.
Yeah. So on the topic of like the well, there's a few things. The Triforce item that you get doesn't. You mentioned that it doesn't do anything, but it actually literally does absolutely nothing. Basically the routine that determines what to do when you get an item. Whether to add rupees or put something in your inventory, and then the Triforce is one of I think 3 items that just does absolutely nothing when it gets added when you get it, along with the second bracelet, which I mentioned before, and the stamina potion. Obviously, the stamina potion does something, but it doesn't get added to your permanent inventory in any way. So,
technically, there's one thing that also does nothing, and that's the first pendant of courage. But I don't know if it actually triggers a specific flag.
Yeah. It's effectively useless. It does actually get added to your inventory though. So because it shows up in your gear screen at least.
Alright, Lemon is doing pretty funky routing here in Swamp Palace and doing a hookshot kind, which failed, unfortunately. Ice Rod absolutely destroys this particular dungeon. You can out of bounds pretty much everywhere. Alright, since that was actually asked on chat, take bets on if eyeball duplication is allowed in glistless. Do you think it is allowed in glistless? Of course it's not allowed in glistless. Anyway, Lemon is gonna do Argus skip actually, which is unconventional in random because there are more checks in this dungeon. And of course, the hard container is a check as well. If it fails, you can just do Argus, but this is a pretty hard trick to nail down. Just need to not clip in bounds.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention is like as far as I can tell, the relevant, like when you touch the painting, that's when the game says, okay, set a particular event flag, and then if you have 7 of these event flags set, then set another event flag. And that's the flag that lets you get into Lower Castle. So, as far as I can tell, the Chamber of the Sages actually it's completely useless. It could be completely skipped. I intended to get that done for this release, but it did not happen. So, hopefully 0.3 will be able to just skip the Chamber of Sages completely. And that's going to save a lot of time.
Whereas doing this boss, by the way, could be huge, but it is also such a huge time waste.
I would bet at this point that Lemon Kong is counting on Vanilla Bow of Light.
No, we specifically don't have Vanilla Bow of Light.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought that's the check that doesn't work.
Yeah. The one thing that happens a lot in this version for some reason is Vanilla Bow of Light, and we specifically excluded that check for that to not happen. Turns out it doesn't work, so I had to regenerate the seed after checking it. So I can assure you this is not Vanilla Bow of Light.
Yeah.
So that makes the decision to skip the Argus Heart container very risky.
At this point, you are basically hoping that it's inside Laurel Castle.
Yeah.
I want to... go ahead.
I was just going to say the Bow of Light is currently like a hard-coded thing, and I thought I had accounted for excluding Zelda as a possible location, but I guess not. I misread something. I need to rewrite the entire filler algorithm anyway, so... excuse me.
Right. The one thing I was going to say, just in case. Fun fact about the whole how the paintings work thing. We know how to clip into Laurel Castle, at least the door. Turns out there's no loading zone there until you get the 7 paintings, so the game knows.
Oh yeah, there's a hint. Yeah. I think that also applies to the final boss loading zone. So even if you could get there, you wouldn't be able to get in. I could be wrong about that. All I know is that when I was testing stuff, I tried it and you just void out. So.
By the way, Knuckle Master was just a hard pace. So we are still finding for that? Or searching for that, rather. Maybe does he dip into this cave first? Yes. Maybe it could be here. Who knows? Hammer was pretty late, so this spec chest is now open. Alright, it's not that, but it's gonna be really welcomed. We did it. We have the bell.
Yeah. I'd say that definitely, like I think it was the case before, but I think Lemon's definitely has a solid lead now.
Shoutouts to these ice game modes, by the way. You can hit them with a sword as normal. For some reason. Right, so Lemon is definitely in the advantage with that bell. He's just gonna do processor mind skip. Another really convenient thing in Rando that I hope is in Racing rule set, because we don't really want to go through the entire autoscaler.
Alright, and that's the last Master Ore, so... Bow of Light on Lower Blacksmith, anyone?
I've seen that at least twice, so it seems like a good idea. And it's a really fast check with Bell. could check where the ball light is.
No, I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Definitely not gonna. Anyway, welcome to this mess of a cave. There's one thing you can do to speed it up, and that's about it. There's a lot of checks around this area that take like 3 minutes to get each. Oh, and Flor is actually doing hot food. We're gonna see if the boots were actually required. But they're gonna be really useful in Ice Palace, or Ice Ruins rather. I actually love unrestricted Ice Ruins. Not just for the boss cave, but in general routing that you can do from auto-founds. It's really fun. But that's not gonna survive the survey. Oh yeah, Treasure Tower 2 is also a thing that has a lot of progression for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I know why the filler is biased towards certain areas. So
let's hope that is not biased towards this seed, and we can actually not do that ever. Oh, this chest is also absurdly biased to have something. Stamina Skull? Pouch! Yeah, I've seen Stamina Skull, Pouch, and Ball of Light there interchangeably, like almost every seed. It's really weird. But really convenient. Every single convenience item was inside the mountain, rather.
oh, please no, Valor. That would be mega cursed.
Ruins far north? What the hell is that?
I think they mean the stamina scroll check.
Oh. I mean, I've had Stamina Skull go mode as well in some seats. It's a thing.
So scroll on pedestal and then bow light on Ice Runes far check. B-Veg, most important item.
Yep. So we're really missing the Stamina Skull, I think, because we saw the Hing Glasses. Of course, we're missing a lot of swords. Would be nice. Instead of the double big 20. And I assume this is gonna be Ice Palace Cape. Or Ruin Skip. I'm doing it again. Sorry. Pretty funky skip. You just go to the boss. Or can access some checks as well. And the boss is not here, but you can just hit it and he dies. Alright, is it gonna be Laurel Castle Dave? Or are we gonna get the checks here? Both of these checks would be absolutely terrible for Bow of Light. Because again, they take so long to get. Hey, Florida's actually gonna find the bell, so that's nice.
I still had my prediction from like an hour ago that there would be an item in House of Gales, so let's hope I'm wrong.
Oh, Florida doesn't have the hook shot, so this trip is actually bad. She's probably gonna go up to Tower Hero. Alright, Lemon is actually gonna go to these checks. If Bow of Light is in these checks, definitely ban me from generating seeds, please.
These checks are just really, really boring and slow. And if you don't know these caves very well, you might forget, but the tornado rod is actually required for some of these.
There's no way to actually skip to the thing, like in Hyrule.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at least Flora can do this cool skip, cave to skip.
Nice.
One of the two uses of boots that just let Link stick to the walls for some reason. I guess it's an actual mechanic in the game, the sticking to walls thing, but not that way. Right, going south first. For checking both, is actually slower because you can go really fast with boots to descend from the north one. Right. Hero Dip. No Hero Dip. Almost fail.
Okay, so it looks like Flora's heading towards the hook shot. So spared from tower repair for the time being.
We'll see if she actually checks things inside Swamp Palace. That would be either good or bad, depending on if the next check here is the Wall of Light. What a cool climb. Alright. Please don't let this be anything.
Please let it be Bow of Light.
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my god.
Lemon will be
So
done within
so
like
good.
7 or 8 minutes.
Alright.
He just has to pick up the Thieves painting, which he abandoned earlier, and then beat the game. Beat you, Ganon.
Anyway, about that ban thing. Hey, at least I'll be able to have earlier dinner than I thought. And the estimate is gonna be destroyed. 3:30 is already a really decent estimate, so 4 hours is definitely time to spare.
Yeah, this kid definitely could have been worse.
We're actually checking this. Now we know that this is a bad idea, unfortunately. Oh, she finds the stamina scroll. The tragedy. Right, so as you'll see here, Ostvala is gonna talk to us, and the Triforce is not gonna trigger. The stairs are still here. You can go all the way up, and it's pretty funny. But you don't really want to do that, of course, in an actual race. And yeah, I would say that Lemon is probably gonna try to find the sword inside Laurel Castle. They're pretty quick checks on the way. I mean, he can probably do this with normal sword, but it's 64 hits. It's pretty annoying.
He doesn't really have a risk of dying, because he's got 14 hearts and red mail and Hylian shield. But if he finds it on one of the quick checks on the way, it would be nice.
Alright, we can also start taking bets on what the item in Zelda is gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be trash. We already know. But what kind of trash?
Oh, it's guaranteed to be trash. A blue rupee.
Monster horn. I'm gonna say. I would take any monster part, really. Forrest's gonna do the fast way to get to the stack climber, which is the old Rosador Mindscape. While Lemon tries to get this particular escape. This is an actually hard required nice bombs escape. I think the only one in the game that we know of.
Yeah. It just skips the fight in the next room.
It's definitely not gonna save any time. What Flora's gonna do... Never mind.
There we go.
I was expecting a cool damage boost out of that. Instead, Flora's gonna go to probably the worst check in the entire game in terms of time spent. Which is
Oh
just
yeah,
the
heart piece here. Yeah, that probably the worst one.
Oh yeah, shout out to this music. Too bad we have Trialscape. It means we're not gonna hear the entire thing with all the instruments. And the nice things about nice bombs is that you can actually... Yep. A lot of people prefer this over Big Bomb for reasons in random. I think it's 6 frames in total to do this. So it's 1/10 of a second.
Like 1.
And is he gonna take the easy approach? Just not risking it. We're gonna have a fairly long fight against Ganon. And then that's gonna be the end of the race and the sea. Taking health? Sure. Alright, so Hylian Shield on Ganon. Pretty cool fight. You just hold R and you're invincible to most attacks at least. So you can just be as aggressive as you want. Which is the general tip I would say to anyone who's struggling with this boss actually. Being as aggressive to Ganon as possible is actually the best way to handle the fight.
If you are in a situation like that where you're kind of stuck in a corner, you can't get by, and you don't have the Hylian Shield, you can always use the Tornado Rod as a backup to avoid taking damage. But in general, I agree. I think being aggressive is the way to play.
Also, Bow deals the same damage as the Master Sword. So in case you only have Master Sword, you can just use that. Bow is gonna be really useful for the next phase if he knows the actual manip. Doesn't look like it. Like, you can force Ganon to do the speed throw. This is the one. After any one of the laser attacks, those ones that fall from the sky, you can just shoot an arrow where he spawns and that forces this attack. Or more lasers, but it's less likely.
So you see that attack does 1 heart of damage. It would have done 4 with Green Mail. So again, Red Mail's no real chance of dying with this many hearts, especially.
Right. Just time for some tennis and the final item on the run. Vamos, Rafa. You can do this particular tennis really fast. Especially the second one, but it's really risky.
Unfortunately, unless you have the Great Spin and the fully upgraded sword, you have to do a 3 cycle here.
One day we'll have Great Spin. Alright, monster part. Any. Dang. It's gonna be at least way to get that card. Flora are really struggling here right away, even to get down. This is a really bad cave. And yeah, 14 hearts and red mail. You can just stay in the corner and tank this. No need to actually avoid them. That's second hit. We just need to survive and mash. Now for the last hit. Any damage source works for this, except bees, because bees don't attack you Ganon apparently. So you can just void. Time is gonna be on touching the Triforce, so it should be in about a minute. And that's gonna be a pretty decisive win from Lemon Kong. GG. Flora is technically on the right track, but she keeps getting sidetracked, so oops. It may take a while. We'll see.
And GG.
That was a 2:35.46, so really solid.
Yeah, that's definitely a pretty good time. This wasn't honestly not that terrible of a seed, I feel like. But
And Lemon was also very aggressive with skipping a lot of stuff, like Knuckle Master and all of the inside of Desert Palace, most of Ice Ruins.
That's what happens when you play unrestricted.
Mhm.
You sometimes just decide to skip as much as possible. Which is why we kind of need our actual racing rule set. But that will come soonish. Right, how long until Flora actually goes and get the Wolf Light? Because we're probably seeing the entirety of Swamp Palace from her. Also this chest. Paradox Portals requires you to go through Hyrule just to go up there. Ooh, I just had an idea. What if you can get this from out of bounds with boots? Alright. That's gonna be something I need to test today. Or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. I don't want to see more hours of this game right now. Right, Flora is actually gonna get chess, unfortunately. This is not really a super long dungeon. Glitchless, it takes quite a while, but if you have used some out of bounds, it's actually pretty easy, and you can always keep at least one key. So in that sense, it's essentially the same as Swamp Palace in Link to the Past, because left side swamp can be skipped if you're lucky. Also, this one gets destroyed by animation storage. Right, this first part needs at least 2 keys, I think. Yeah, because nothing else is behind more non-lock doors. Wait, does it need 3 actually? You could super Museus keys and need 3. Now that I think about it. I'm probably gonna try this really cool bow shot. Not quite. This is a completely Lisa strat. It's not useful anywhere, but it's really cool. It skips the water park, which is bad, but it's fast. Also, this mid-boss sucks.
I just realized what I did wrong and why the excluding the Bow of Light didn't, or excluding Zelda didn't work.
What was the problem exactly?
Oh, it was just I just wrote the code wrong.
Oh, okay. So it was
No.
something more specific? Like,
No.
Like the reason, or the only progression that can be there, I should say, is set Bow of Light and nothing else. So
Yeah.
it's a kind of weird check.
Yeah, like I think I can't remember if I said this earlier, but it's basically hard coded. The Bow of Light is, because it kind of has to be, kind of not, but I don't. So it doesn't quite work the same way as the other progression items.
Oh, hey. Hello?
Hey, hello.
He has a voice.
I do.
Hi,
I do
Lemon.
have a voice. How's it going?
GG's.
Yeah, GG.
Ah, thanks, guys. It was a pretty good race. Feel pretty good about it.
It was really weird on some item placements. It was interesting in the sense that you both did pretty different things, so it was nice.
Did we? I was getting nervous right after Ice Ruin, thinking to myself, you know, I've been through all the dungeons now. I don't have Bow of Light. Which dungeon that I skipped is it in? But thankfully, I managed to get it with just some luck pretty quickly.
I have no idea if the ball being there was actually luck. Sure.
We successfully banned Herdaman from generating seeds for races in the future
Well, at the same time,
because of where Bow of Light was.
I mean, I wish, but the unrestricted weekly is in about 15 minutes. So I already have the seat for that. Hopefully you all join. Ooh. And if not, we have another one tomorrow for Glitchless.
I'm probably gonna skip the race this week. I'm showcased out.
I'm probably gonna do the same as well.
But I will
I'm-
check it out.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're starting to get, just a few people participating in those races.
I would usually participate in both, but between the showcase and preparing some behind the scenes stuff, I think I've. Oh, hi, a sword. I think I've spent like 90% of my days just doing something related to this game, so I'd rather not right now.
I hear ya. You can get pretty burnt out.
I'm not burnt out. I just want to play Pokemon Snap and Chill for once. Like this game is great. Don't get me wrong. I love this game, but both as a speed game and as a rando. And again, if you are streaming this at any point, I'll probably pop in and start coaching you, because that's just how I roll.
Sounds about right. But this is why I kind of like Rando, or why I really like Rando, is that it takes the speedrun game that, is a link between worlds, and it actually breathes some new life into it. It's a little bit different each time. It's not just like you're doing the same exact strategy over and over again. You got to react a little bit.
Yeah, it's not super flexible yet, but we will get there. Dungeon rewards mainly will probably be the thing that makes all seeds different.
How is Flora doing? I haven't actually looked at her stream.
Can you guess what item she's missing?
She can't find Bow of Light? Oh no.
She took way longer to find the hookshot as well.
Yeah, well the hammer was in Turtle Rock, like that balcony room, and hookshot was in those. That's right, it was in the Hammer Pigs by Eastern. So like that was not set up in an easy way to figure out where that was.
Actually got access to Turtle Rock and a lot of things before you. When she entered Laurel, she had Nice Bombs, Ice Rod, Flippers, I think Samrot as well? Oh no, a lot of things compared to you. But as the seed went on, you just kept getting the things and doing things.
That's how it works. Well, the flippers were in the merge dungeon, and I always skip that, and it always ends up being a mistake. Because I always want to come back when I have the Pegasus boots and the Tornado Rod, because then you can just do it real fast, right? But on this particular seed, I should have just gone for it. I ended up, I did the thing again in Thieves, where I went in, realized immediately, crap, I don't have the flippers. So you can only do about like half the dungeon, and then you gotta duck out at the midway, pretty much. Or you can do, the flipperless strategy, but I didn't even have Tornado Rod, so that wasn't... Like, as annoying as that trick is to do, you can't even do it without Tornado.
One day we'll have some kind of race won by that. It will
Right?
suck.
I'm waiting for the Plandos, where people statically assign the items places. I was thinking the flippers, that sunken chest would be perfect for them at the bottom of Thieves. Because it is technically possible to get that.
Okay. Flora, checking everything in Swamp. Getting a sort of it, but basically nothing else. We already know that there's nothing here, of course, but it's still quite a time loss. She already did all of Desert Palace as well, which was unfortunate.
I think the only thing I didn't find... I think I'm missing one bottle and the stamina scroll. I think I knew where everything else was.
I can check where the stamina scroll is. Oh. You were not gonna get stamina scroll.
No?
You can probably guess what it is.
Oh no, was it on the pedestal?
No. Close.
No? Will we blocked out Ruby Treacherous Tower?
Yep.
Oh, gee. Okay, yeah. No way.
Now the real kicker is, was it needed? Far north. No. Thankfully, it wasn't needed for Ice Ruins. That would have been the worst.
It really would have. We end up. I don't know about you, but I always try to save Ice Ruins towards the end of the rando, and that's usually just informed by the fact that you need, Fire Rod and Hookshot. But ideally, you want to have the Pegasus boots, right? So you can skip that entire dungeon, and you don't always get lucky enough to actually have them. Or sometimes the game will troll you and it'll put them in the chest right outside of Ice Ruins.
That just always has something. Or at least I was talking about it, that it's weirdly normal to find some sort of progression there or some sort of utility item.
I think, yeah, in the last 3 or 4 races I've done, that one chest behind the frozen Armos, that has always had, like, it's never had rubies or a piece of heart. It's always had some key item.
There's so many instances of that, so the filler rewired will probably fix that.
Yeah, well, I wonder if we can get statistics where we can kind of see, like, oh, hey, the rando is putting this type of item in this place too often, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I pretty much know what the problem is. So.
Oh, okay. I might have missed that.
Yeah.
You definitely missed it because.
Or at least I have. Yeah, I have an idea of what the problem is.
Well, with every release you put out, I mean, this ends up getting better. So, do appreciate you making this and putting all the work in. Cannot wait for freestanding items to have models. That's what I'm most excited for, because then we can start doing.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be easy, but I mistook something in the disassembly. So
I really don't look forward to the random crashes from that.
But I already have an idea of what to do. I've just been not working lately, so.
No worries, man. I mean, I just think today, like, when I went up to the merchant shop, he was selling the hint glasses, and it was like, cool, I don't actually have to buy it. I can just see that it's something useless.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's a lot easier to, like, do the models on those things, because they're... like, there's a specific object for the merchant's shop item, and so it's easy to just say, okay, instead of showing the model, show this model. But with like heart pieces, it's like they're all, they're all the heart piece model, and so if I replace one, that would replace all of them with the same model. So I have to figure out how to do each one individually.
So the other objects are like, they take a parameter to say what object they are, but heart pieces are just heart pieces.
Sort of. That's one way of putting it, I guess.
That sort of makes sense. And then, because you've got the merchant and Ravio's shop, where we can see the models, so that kind of makes sense that, like, they could be different things.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Rory's going to the thing. She's doing it. Let's go. She's about to get both light.
Nice.
Going here first is really bold. It also means she's gonna skip the pouch. Probably.
No, yeah, being able to see this item would certainly be a huge help.
Oh yeah, I guess since we're on we're in somewhat of a round table for possible future upgrades. Since a lot of people have asked about it, what's the plans for hints?
Eventually.
Good question.
Eventually.
Like I said, I haven't even started messing with like text files. So, and I also have to like document all the hint ghosts and whatnot. And
don't let it be hint ghosts, please.
I mean, what
I
else
really
is
don't
gonna?
want
What
that.
else is it gonna be?
I have no idea, but no hint ghosts, please.
No, I kind of want this. Do it.
I think hint ghost is really the only option.
The problem is
And
it's gonna be.
make them take the 3DS play coins too. I want to have
Yeah.
to jog around the block to finish my run.
I mean, I can make that an option.
Oh no!
No, I think skipping the play coins is gonna be easy.
The real problem with hint ghosts is that there's like 300 of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
We're gonna have 80 different duplicate hints.
Yeah, that's definitely. I don't want every seed to devolve into just wearing the hint glasses all the time.
Well, I'm sure what it could be is it just
like I think
check if
like,
you have the hint glasses, not if you're actually wearing them for a hint ghost to appear.
Yeah, that was something that someone suggested. I don't know how easy that would be, but yeah. I mean, I'll look into it.
Alternative could be make it so that wearing the hint glasses just doesn't change, like, the screen.
Just get rid of that filter.
Get rid of the filter, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how easy that would be either. I think as far as like the number of hint ghosts, I think the thing is like most of them are in dungeons, and so it would not, I don't think, be too hard to just say like by default to not have those be shuffled. Just shuffle the overworld ones.
Maybe make every single ghost in a region have the same thing. Same hint.
Yeah, that could also work. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, I haven't gone into text files yet, so.
I think I could be wrong about this, it's been a while, but I think each dungeon, there's a hint ghost in the entry room. If you wanted like a patterned way of doing it.
Yeah, I also need to figure out like where the bow of light hint is going to be, because I want it to be like OOT, where you get it, where you need to still like get to the final dungeon before you get it.
Well, I see two places you could put it, but I think the one that most people have in mind is just having Zelda tell you.
Yeah,
when she gives it to you.
The issue there is that you'd have to beat phase 1.
Is that an issue?
Yes.
The real issue is that you need to death warp out of that or save it.
You need to beat phase 1 and then get the hint, and then game
I guess
over.
The alternative is when Hilda unlocks Lowrel Castle, when you walk up there with all the paintings. I guess you could insert it there, but that might be too early.
Yeah, I kind of want it to be like I was hoping there was something in like the Hilda's office or Zelda's office that would be usable, but I don't think there's anything in there. I could put something in. I could put something in there, but
it'd be kind of neat, like if you took like the portal to the fairy room right before the final boss. Like if there was a hint ghost in there, you could just ask.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I gotta be right back. So keep theory crafting though.
A diary there from the. I mean, there's Ravio's diary in hero mode, so you can just use that. Oh, shout out to this casting, by the way. Another default time loss, unfortunately. So yeah, there's so many ways to handle hints in the future, but they are maybe for now. You can enjoy the things as it is right now. You can use your friends and send them the spider log if you want hints, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. could always just look at it right before you get to the boss.
But that's not as fun. I don't know. I meant just as a... Oh hey, it's in this region, or it's near X. That would be more fun, I think. Hunting for things is always more fun.
Yeah, like if it just tells you like it's somewhere in desert or it's somewhere in the ice ruins, then it's like, okay, I have an idea where it is, but it's not outright telling you.
It's in Planet Zebus. Alright. We have the Triforce. And now Flora can go do the escape and finish the game. It's gonna be a quicker fight because of the extra sword upgrade. I could look up the other one, I guess.
Oh yeah, I never got either of the sword upgrades. I'm guessing they were probably in one of the dungeons I skipped.
Do we count this as Jeff being right? Because it's in House of Gales.
Yeah, that'll do it.
We can count that as Jeff being right, yeah. Not progression, but it's an item.
Let's see.
Alright, will she go for the escape? No. Either way, 3 slashes and a bow is pretty fast. Like, the escape here doesn't really save much time unless you get it first try or second try. But it's fancy. Right, and bomb trial is being bomb trial, of course. Just every single enemy in the way. There it is. And dash? Yeah. The coward's way. Oh, and she fails it. Oh. That feels really, really bad. Like, the position for that is somewhat specific, but not hard to get. So dashing into the loading zone is actually kinda hard if you don't get it.
I find if you just... Yeah, she got it. Yeah, dash. It's pretty generous, the positioning for that.
Are you watching for him stream? Because we are like 30 seconds behind that. So spoilers.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to figure out where you were and what you were talking about. That makes sense, you were in the past.
Just restream things. Right, we're actually gonna see it now. Hopefully. And there we go. Let's hopefully see 0 failed tennises. And she doesn't have the pouch, so it's gonna be a little more annoying to deal with, but it's not a big deal.
Honestly, the only thing the pouch helps me with this fight is just that final shot to hit him with the bow at the end. If I don't have the pouch, then I basically just do a dash into him to end the fight.
This fight, by the way, with Temper Sword is 48 hits. I think. I know it's 64 with Base Master Sword, and this is 3 damage instead of 2, so it should be 48.
Makes sense. And then the second phase is weird and like it doesn't work with discrete damage values. It's just like the number of hits.
Except with Max Sword and Grey Spin for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
Is it specifically the Butter Sword, or would that work with any sword?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, is it the sword or is it the Great Spin?
I just know that Hando does it, and Hando has the Max Sword, so I assume it's part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the turtle thing, assuming you have the gloves, except they don't really require it. Right? Really fast tennis. Oh, never mind. Oops. Yeah, this is a showcase of how fast you can do this particular part. Get that health field. And she has 4 hearts over you, Lemon, I think. So even less stuff to be worried about.
Yeah, she's in pretty good shape. She's been taking this fight pretty aggressively. But I mean, she's got red mail, she's got Hylian shield, she's got so many hearts. Like she's in good shape.
Ooh, trying to go for a neon fast strat there. Second hit is tricky, but you really want to go as fast as possible here. It's faster and also way simpler than just waiting for the ball. In case you want to optimize this fight and actually not get hit, that's my tip. Anyway, the fight is over. We just need to mash.
Yeah. Oh.
I should probably get started with the weekly race. Right. Just don't die to the Triforce, and we should be good. And Flora is gonna finish with a time of 3:08:04. Actually, late
Nice.
finish apparently. And yeah, there it is. A pretty unfortunate big difference in time, but that's how Rando goes sometimes.
That's how it goes. Honestly, anything sub 4 hours, I think is a good time.
I think sub 3:30 is already good, honestly.
Yeah, definitely agree. you can just get screwed really hard depending on where things get placed.
And there's Flora. Hi, Flora.
Hey, Flora.
I got randoed.
Don't worry, you were actually pretty much on the lead for most of Floral. And then things started to slow down because nothing was appearing. And dungeons were completely useless, as usual.
Yeah, that was rough. Trying to just found hammer, which was hookshot. Then it was just unlucky, but I'm pretty happy with how well I did, aside from failing trial skip. But hey.
I mean, you played way more safe than Lemon. Lemon skipped 3 whole dungeons, I think.
Yep,
Considering
I
he hadn't
skipped desert,
played
ice, and swamp.
It was really bold.
And well, I figured, if I get to the end and I need something, I can go back. But you got to do the, the required stuff first. That's kind of my strategy with this.
I did my glitchless thought process of wanting to just do what I knew how to do first and what I preferred, which is why I put Skull off so late and did all of desert. But fun race.
This is a pretty good seed. That's pretty good. Herrit, I know people want to ban you from making race seeds, but this one actually wasn't too bad.
You're wrong on one thing. I won't ban myself from doing it. And I consider this seed bad enough for that, but it's fine. It was not a super terrible seed, except we checked before it, so it wasn't that terrible.
Yeah, that was good that we checked it. At least it wasn't the glitchless weekly seed. That was something.
Hey, there's a pretty interesting chance of me generating an absolute terrible seed because I'm about to open the weekly race. I'll also join so it doesn't time out and start pinging because we have those, and one of them is starting right now or in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think I've done enough ALBW for today. I have glitchless runs to work on.
And ping, Swag Tornado Rod. What a name. Alright, that was a nice showcase, all things considered. So thank you for agreeing with me, and thanks to Kappa and Forum, Jeff, for answering my call for comms.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for putting this together.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I was surprised to see you DMing me about it.
I would have liked Rom to also at least be on comms, but he was really busy this week, so that couldn't happen, unfortunately.
Maybe next.
Maybe another one. Maybe you can do the thing now, Tokapa. We can ping more people.
Well, what was that?
The release?
Oh, yeah, I should do that. So yeah, 0.2. Technically, I uploaded yesterday, so it's out on the releases page. I just haven't pinged anyone in the Discord, so that's the newest release that has all the nice new features like the freestanding items and other stuff, and yeah, be a lot better than the last release. So we have the Discord, lots of people in there, extremely helpful. I really am appreciative of the community for being there, and being just really fantastic. So thanks to everyone for this race, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the future.
Thank you for actually making this CJ has really revived the game.
I
Yeah.
made this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much of this is only possible because of Tokapa. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this definitely gave me much more reason to play because it's kind of demotivating when I'm the only active glitchless runner.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
like I can try to lower my world record if you want to.
Well,
Somewhere in the near future.
I mean, I'm
Glitches is
just going,
fun, so we could
I'm going for
definitely
top
go
3
for it.
for now, but who knows? I might go for record.
Go ahead. Please take it. Motivate me to actually speedrun instead of being a filthy random player.
I'll do my
I would
best.
love it.
I just need to not have like 42-minute high rolls.
Right, we can wrap this up whenever you want, I think. Follow both of the runners. Flo was actually streaming for an alt account, I think, at least.
Yeah,
looks
for
like
this race, I was streaming from an alt.
But it's at twitch.tv/FloraBerry, right?
Yep.
And Lemon is at twitch.tv/LemonCon.
Yep, that's it.
I would have
Yeah,
played
that's why I specified.
I would have played the scene more risky and actually gone for fake flippers if flippers weren't so early. But
Flippers were early for you. They were not early for me.
yeah, I think I might have gotten luckier early game, but late game, oh boy.
That's a randomizer for you.
Right, and if anyone in the chat wants to play this, as I said, the weekly unrestricted race is open now, and tomorrow at the same time we have the glitchless one, so it's a good opportunity to just jump in and play this.
Yeah, the weeklies are super chill. We just do a rando, and it's good times. Good times until Ice Rod is locked behind Sand Rod, which is locked behind Treacherous Tower.
No, don't remind me of that, please. Anyway, any closing remarks?
GG's.
GG.
Yeah, GG's to both the runners, and thanks to Heretman, Tokapa, and Photon for doing comms for this. It was very fun to watch. Made me excited to try this render at least. Coming up on ZSR next, in about 40 minutes is going to be the Ocarina of Time randomizer, standard NA weekly, and an hour after that is the second to last Wind Waker randomizer season 4 tournament qualifier. And then tomorrow we have another OTR item randomizer weekly for the U time slot, the game 1 of the Link to the Past No Major Glitches tournament grand finals, the last Wind Waker randomizer season 2 for tournament qualifier, and the Minish Cap randomizer weekly race. So keep an eye on the schedule if any of that interests you. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to go eat now. It's 11 p.m.
Good
I'm
call.
hungry.
Well, again, thanks for being here, and GG's.
Thanks for doing most of the commentary.